This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Today being Wednesday, we're looking at a viewer's question, and before we get into the meat and potatoes of what we're going to be talking about today, I'll just mention that if you have a music or guitar related query or question and you think I'm the chap to answer it, get in touch. You can see the web address there at the top of the screen. Use the contact form there to get in touch. Leave a comment below this or any of my other videos, or you can just email me direct, jrguitartuition@gmail.com. One chap who did exactly that is called Brian, and this was his question.
Hi John, I do hope you're well. A question for your Wednesday videos. I can play blues okay with the minor pentatonic and blues scale, and thanks to your videos I understand what the major pentatonic is, but I can't make it work when I play blues. It just sounds lame at best and plain wrong at worst, and I can't work out why. Can you help? Brian.
So, using the major pentatonic in a blues. Well, I have a particular way that I tend to do this, and here's an example of me using the major pentatonic, amongst other things, in a blues situation. And here's a little bit of an explanation about how I'm thinking when I'm playing like that.
Here is the explanation.
Right, so we'll begin by looking at what a major pentatonic is and why some people find it something of a problem when playing blues with it. Let's take this pentatonic shape here. A minor pentatonic. It is an A minor pentatonic because that note there is the minor root note of the scale, and if that note is an A, we've got an A minor pentatonic. If you want to play a major pentatonic, then you need to look for the note that this finger is playing here. That happens to be a C in this case, so play that pattern but using this note here as your reference point, and you get a C major pentatonic. So if you want an A major pentatonic, all you have to do is move your little finger down to the A note, and that then gives you an A major pentatonic. Why people struggle with this often is the case that they are so steeped in the idea of thinking of this shape as a minor pentatonic that they will subconsciously or even consciously always resolve to the minor root note, wherever it happens to be. And that's great if you're playing, in this case, over an F sharp minor tonality because you're landing on the root note of the F sharp minor. But that F sharp note, whatever you want to play it, say there, is not a particularly strong note to resolve to over the A major. You can hear it's just not got that sort of resolved quality to it that it does over that chord. Right, so that's the first problem, subconsciously or consciously always kind of thinking of this shape as a minor type scale. The other problem is that everybody's favourite string bend in this pentatonic pattern, which is this, okay, that's going to sound pretty good over the A7 chord. Okay, but over the D7 chord, this chord has this note in it, a C. And what we were doing when we're bending this note is bending up to a C sharp. And if you have a C sharp and a C happening together, you're going to get that. Okay, not pleasant. So how can we get round this? Well, think about the minor pentatonic again. Here it is. And let's start thinking about some notes we can add into that to get us towards that major blues kind of sound. So if you're playing an A chord in a blues, it's not unusual. In fact, it's pretty normal to play this. Adding this note, basically. This is that F sharp I was talking about earlier. Now, so we know that's acceptable over an A. It's maybe not a note you'd want to resolve to, but it does kind of work momentarily. Okay, it's actually in the D7 chord, like that, or kind of there it is there. And one thing you can also do in a blues is to play the 7th chords as 9th chords. So there's an E9th, which has that note in. So essentially what we know is that F sharp note will not clash with any of the 3 chords in the blues. And there's another note that we can do this with as well. Imagine if we played the D chord with that kind of Chuck Berry status quo kind of shuffle sort of feel. We're adding this note here, a B. Okay, so that we know that note's going to be fine over the D chord. The B note is actually in the E7, and if you turn the A7 into an A9th, it's in that chord as well. So the B note isn't going to clash with any of those 3 chords, the A7, D7 and E7, 1, 4, 5 chords in a typical A7 blues. So what we can do is add both of those notes, the B and the F sharp, into our A minor pentatonic, like this. Now, the theory eggheads out there will no doubt say, yes, that's a Dorian mode, and it is, but we're not kind of really talking about modes here. It's not really relevant to what we're doing. It is a Dorian mode, but you can just kind of treat that as a... Just treat them as extra notes that are kind of just sitting there in the neighbourhood of your favourite pentatonic pattern. And then what we can do is we can add a couple of extra notes to it. We can add the, over the A7 chord, we can add the C sharp note, the one we were bending to earlier, that I said would sound pretty good over the A7 chord. Well, you can add it in, like that. And then, only when the A7 chord is there though, don't try doing it over the D7, because once again, C sharp note over a D7 gives us an unpleasant racket. The other note that you can add in is, if we look at the E7 chord, that contains this G sharp note. It's both these notes are the major third of the chord that we're targeting. So once again, that note is going to work over the E7 chord, but don't try it over the D7. Let's see what that would sound like. Here's a D7 chord, and I'm just going to tap the G sharp here. And what sound do we get? It'd work in jazz, I suppose, but yes. But it's not a good note to use over either of the other 2 chords. Just save that one for the E7 and save the C sharp for the A7. And when you do that, you get essentially this Dorian mode or pentatonic with benefits kind of shape. And then over the top of the A7 chord, targeting the C sharp note. You can do it there, or you can do it there, or wherever. You can bend up to it, as I said. You can go bend up to it from the B note that we've added in. The F sharp note, as I mentioned earlier, that's actually in the D7 chord, so target that note over the D7, and then when we get to the E7, target the G sharp note. And when you combine all of that together, you are using the major pentatonic. If you look at that kind of melee of notes that I was playing there, you know, we are amongst those notes getting an A, B, C sharp, E and F sharp, which is an A major pentatonic. But I'm not kind of thinking A major pentatonic, I'm just thinking minor pentatonic plus the F sharp notes and the B notes, and then over the A7 chord add the C sharp, over the E7 chord even add the G sharp. So combine those approaches together and you will get that kind of major blues sound. Now you know what to do. Go away and have some fun with it. So hopefully that made some kind of sense, and hopefully that's answered your question there, Brian. I'll just mention, as always, that there is a full tab for the solo that you heard earlier in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, that explanation you've just seen there, and a jam track to play along with yourself. All of that's up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description. It's $3 a month, and I think it's now £3 a month to get access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. A massive, massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that, or any of the other ways, all of which are downstairs in the description. And that's pretty much the video for today, folks. Hope you found it useful, informative and entertaining in equal measure, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell in case you haven't already done so. Why not drop me a like as well while you're at it? Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and talk about music and guitars and whatever else crops up. Great way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thanks for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.